Hi everyone, it's Den here. Welcome to the School of Light. Well, today we're doing something a little different. I am going to give you a little tease now of a photograph, and I think it could potentially be the best or my favorite ball of light image I've ever made, and I want to talk you through how we made it, where it is, a bit of the background, why I think it's special, some technical palaver, and then I'm going to get out of here. So I'm just giving you a little slither of it now because we're going to have a look at it in a little while. But this is an image that I made this weekend, just gone. I made it at a place called Lake Mungo, which is over in New South Wales. It took me 6 hours to drive there, and I met my amazing friend Rob Turney there. And Lake Mungo is this astonishing place over in New South Wales. And I went there in 2011, and I had only just started making images. And we didn't do it this time, but when I went then, I went up for a tour. You can do these walking tours up into the lunettes with a local, I went with a local First Nations lady, and it was astonishing. You get to learn this wild history of Lake Mungo. There's evidence of people living there 50,000 years ago. We did things a little differently on this trip. There's this amazing 70-kilometre self-drive loop around the lunettes, and on that loop there's a place called Viggers Well, and we hung out there for a couple of days, and you can walk up into the sand dunes. It's absolutely beautiful. Walk up into the sand dunes and walk around some of the lunettes. It's not quite as amazing as it is down at the other part where you do the tours, but it's still so beautiful. And the first night there was an epic sunset. Of course, I'm a complete shit landscape photographer, but I got some sunset photos, and then Rob and I did some light painting, and it was beautiful. I was spinning like a dick. I am so out of practice, but I made some nice ball of light images. And as the night was going along, I did there was some beautiful sort of leading lined sand with some sort of wood, and then we went down to the sand dunes, and I did some stuff in the sand dunes. But what was really, really, really beautiful about this experience is this year I am just using the ball of light tool in my personal work. There's some commercial stuff that we'll talk about later, but my personal work there this year is just the ball of light, and it has been remarkably beautiful. There is something really amazing about just, I had this camera bag, and in my bag was simply a bag of ball of light tools, 2 cameras, my stills camera and the video camera because I was shooting some video, and a couple of sort of action cameras, some batteries, a water bottle and a top and a tripod, and that was it. Everything I took up into those sand dunes was on my back, and it was so beautiful. There is this calmness that comes over me when all I do is I'm thinking about the ball of light. I want to find a nice landscape, put an orb into it, and we're done. And this is the reason, and I'm reminded by this weekend, that making the decision to just do ball of light this year was the right decision. It was beautiful. There was room in my car to put my camp stretcher and my blow-up bed, a chili bin, a few clothes, a couple of spare tripods, and that was it. It was amazing. Whereas in the past, when I've done a normal light painting trip, there would just be boxes and boxes and boxes of shit. So that was amazing as well. Then second day, we kind of hung out, spent all day talking, which was beautiful. I haven't seen Rob for a couple of years, and it was just really beautiful. There's something amazing about going away with a good friend and just talking, and we enjoyed that. Then I got to see Rob put together some blades, which was really nice, and it was so nice because there is something I love about sitting watching people light painting, and if you are lucky enough, and I was lucky enough to sit and watch Rob work for 2 nights when I was having a break, or just to grab some video of him. It's so beautiful. There is this amazing flow this man has with a blade that just is remarkable to watch. And you either go find him. I'll put Rob Turney. I mean, you don't have to look far to find his work. Go and enjoy it. So we hung out, and then on the second night I was starting to feel my mojo a little bit, and we walked down into this area where there were a few lunettes. We walk in to these just beautiful textures and shape, and I start playing around with location, and I start sort of spinning some stuff, and I was using the backlight scanner. And the beautiful thing about the backlight scanner is that when there's no moon, and you'll see when I show you the image the moon was just coming, you can walk through the scene illuminating it, and by the nature of the design, insert note about the amazing paleteth, and of course, if you want to see some beautiful backlight work, the astonishing Phil Fisher and Lace Light Photos up in the UK, the backlight scanner is just this very unique way to fill a scene with light. And so for me, when all I'm doing is just placing a ball of light into this image and there's no light, you can light the scene a bit with this backlight scanner. And because of the nature of this, these formations, now, should I put the image up on the screen and we talk about it? I think it's time. Here it is. I'm just going to put this image up on the screen now, fill the screen with it, and we're going to talk through it. I've got my iPad here so I could be looking at it. So, phew, oh my Lord. So I had been walking around in this sort of landscape and backlight scanning, spinning orbs, backlight scanning, spinning orbs. And then all of a sudden this scene just sort of presented itself to me. And what was amazing was there was this little sort of area of green, so you've got this wild landscape, like this sort of surreal moonscape looking thing, and then you've got these flowers in the foreground. Now they're not sharp, of course, because I think it was wide open, but then the moon is just coming up. So over on the left of the image we've got the glow of the moon starting to come. The backlight scanner has just licked the edges of these lunettes with light, and I've put the camera down low on the ground, so it's very, very low. Now I'm using the Q3, which is my, we'll talk about that in the next video, but this is my light painting camera this year, and the great thing about it is that it's so tiny and light that I just put it low down on the ground on one of my tiny little tripods, and you get the sensation of scale, that just scale comes up through the image. It almost looks like this huge landscape with a massive ball of light in it. Some other elements of the image that I think are fun is that there is this weird haze going up through the middle of the image, and what that is that's the backlight scatter. See my arm, it was so warm I had a t-shirt on, and so fortunately there is this sort of glow, this sort of mark from my arm, and I don't want to get rid of that because I quite like it. But here's the thing, when I saw this image on the back of the camera, I flipped. I went running back. Rob was at this other place. I went running over there and I said, mate, I think I've done it. This is the one. I was so excited. I felt like a kid. And here's the thing. What makes a great image? Do you like the image? I don't really care if you like the image or not. This is where I'm at now. I literally don't care if you like it or anyone likes it. I'm going out now into the landscape and making images for me again. And I'm making ball of light images because I love them. And I was tripping balls when I saw this on the back of the camera. And that was just on the back of the camera. I think I made about 2 more images after this, but it didn't really matter. Like this, I could kind of sense that this was the one. So we finished the night, jumped in the car, came home, and then shit, man, when this popped up on the screen and I saw it, it was just so beautiful, because what happened was that sensation of awe that I had when I saw it out in the field, I had it all over again. And I looked at it, there is very, very little processing done to this image, just a bit of saturation, well no, actually desaturated a bit, just a bit of contrast and bits and bobs, but very little adjustment, which is remarkable really. And I'm reminded, I'm going to pop some of my old images from Mungo up on the screen now, and you will see that they are very different. Very different. It's all about raw, sort of big, bold colours, whereas now I like this more. I love this sort of delicateness to it. And Phil Fisher, you legend. Phil is the one. Phil and his backlight scanner for years now have just been smashing me in the face with just how a delicate bit of light painting can really make an image pop. And for me, the things that make it an amazing image are, it was a beautiful trip. I was with a very good friend and we were having a great time. I had relaxed, I was calm after a couple of days with no cell phone coverage. It made me feel good when I saw it. Technically it's good, the exposure's good. It doesn't really matter really what gear it's made on. But yeah, there it is. A ball of light image in a year of the ball of light. Now, in the next video, I think, I've got a bit of news about that. I'm simplifying things even more, which is amazing. But there you go. Should we have some technical, let's have some technical conversation. So this is an f9, ISO 100, 28mm because it's a fixed lens camera, 120 seconds because that's the maximum exposure time on this camera, which is kind of cool actually. Limitations are great. So yeah, there's a bit of technical. Not a lot else to tell really. There is, you could make this image with any camera. That's always the case. There you go. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of trip coming to Lake Mungo. If you're in Australia and you ever get the chance to go to Lake Mungo, I highly recommend it. There are organised photography tours too to Lake Mungo, I learned recently, and you can definitely book a walk up into the lunettes, a tour with the guides there. I highly recommend that. The most important thing is to always remember when you are out in nature, especially at a place as special as Lake Mungo, don't be a dick. Is the most important thing. Be respectful. This is a very special place. Thanks, Rob, for the company. You're a top guy. Excellent. Let's go. This crazy shit about to happen. Oh my God. Peace.